Alright guys, I'm making this video because I got a lot of questions from people asking me how I did what I did when I made $600 for sitting in the airport for an extra 90 minutes. If you listen to one of my other travel videos, one of the things I recommended is only traveling with a carry-on. And there's a number of different reasons for that. First off, you're never going to lose your luggage because you're carrying it. I've had times where I checked in to my flight, checked in the luggage, and then they canceled 30 flights because of a storm, and they couldn't give anyone back their luggage. At the time, I had, I think, one outfit in my carry-on, and I was stuck wearing that for like the next 3 days until they got another flight for us. Typically, when I travel, I'm going out for a weekend and coming back either on like a Sunday or a Monday, depending on how long the weekend is. This past weekend, I was in Louisville, Kentucky. Or not Louisville, we were in Lexington. I was in Lexington, Kentucky, and on my way back I had to stop through Charlotte. And I'm coming back to Orlando, which is a pretty big tourist destination. It's a large city, a lot of people want to come back here. So a lot of the flights are overbooked. Charlotte is a large hub, so people are coming from all over the country going to Orlando, and they're coming through Charlotte. When they're announcing the flights, they're mentioning stuff like, hey, this flight is heavily overbooked, there's going to be, every seat's going to be used, this, that, and the other. Typically, when they do something like that, one of the things they're also going to do is go out over the intercom and say, hey, we need some people who are willing to volunteer to give up their seat for someone else, and we'll give you a travel voucher for like, $500 or whatever it is. When I was there, they were offering it for like, sometimes if you wait, they'll offer it for more, but whatever. They were offering it for $4.90 and they ended up writing it for $5.90. Basically, what happens is a lot of these flights, they oversell them because they know there's a certain amount of people who aren't going to make the flight. They're either going to oversleep, their connection's not going to get there in time, whatever. So they're going to get lost in the airport. They have some algorithm where they know a certain number of people aren't going to make it, and so they oversell it by that amount. At least I assume that's how it works. So, at any rate, they asked for some volunteers to not take this flight and go for a later one. When I was in LA, I was coming back from San Jose. I was flying Delta, and it was the night of the Emmys, and they were offering me $800 cash plus a hotel stay if I waited till the next day, and like trips back and forth to the airport and dinner and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, hell yeah. Basically, I had to stand there and they had to count and make certain every single person got on the plane, and there ended up being, I was shy by one. I would have gotten it, but they had one extra seat, so I got on the flight. But sometimes it works out. I've gotten vouchers from flying Southwest. They'll know that I don't have a check bag, and they'll pull me off a flight and offer me a voucher to take a different flight. Or if there was one time they were having mechanical difficulties, and they pulled me off because they saw I didn't have a check bag, and they routed me on a different plane to get me to my destination on time. So there's different advantages to not having a check bag, and it's not necessary. Really, unless you're the type of person that changes your clothes several times a day, you really don't need to bring that much stuff. You can do laundry at your destination. I don't see what the issue is, but I know some of you have to have several bags, but whatever. When I'm coming back, I don't have anywhere to be, so a lot of people, they have to get back for either work or they're coming here. Like this particular time, Microsoft is having a big convention, so there were a ton of people coming here for this Microsoft convention, and all the flights were overbooked. So I volunteered. What I do now, if I don't wait for them to start announcing, hey, we need people to volunteer. If they're already talking about how every seat is taken up, because they'll announce that. They'll be like, listen, we're going to run out of overhead space. If you guys can check your bags or whatever, we'll check them for free. That's another thing. If you take your bag all the way to the gate, sometimes, if it's, as long as it's carry-on size, if they start to run out, just volunteer to have it checked, and then you won't have to pay the $25 or $50 or whatever it is to check the bag. But yeah, so If you're flying back and they offer that, or they start talking about how the flight's overbooked, walk up to the desk and volunteer to take a later flight, and they'll give you a large voucher. Someone was posting on my Facebook they got $3,000 for taking a later flight. I can't imagine why it was going to be that much money. I've never heard of anyone getting that much money to take a later flight, but I mean, I almost got to get a second voucher because the second flight they're putting me on was like, again, overbooked. And once again, it was by one. I was like the last person to get on the plane before they, were like, all right, we're out of seats. So that probably would have been, my goal was to try to do it 3 times, and I didn't get to. That would have been so great. Because then that, like, if I had gotten 3 $600 vouchers, that would have been enough money to go round trip to Australia. That would have been amazing, but didn't happen. That's okay. Still got $590 is enough to go round trip pretty much anywhere in the country. So that's gonna come in handy one day. I'll book a gig somewhere and I'll need that. So if you travel a lot and you're, in the airport a lot, and if you've got time flexibility going one way or the other, and they offer it, it's worth it a lot of times to just, then maybe you stay in a random city somewhere and you get to see a new city. I could have spent time in Charlotte. I got family there. I could have had dinner with family. Cost me 90 minutes of my time. I went and got pizza and sat in the airport, and I made $590. I'm perfectly fine with that. So I hope this helps you out. If you got this flexibility and you travel a lot, I'm certain you might probably already know this tip, but if you don't, try it. I mean, who couldn't use $590 of free airfare? At any rate, hope you like it. Click the like button, subscribe, all that. I can't say it. Click the like button, subscribe, all that garbage, and I'll see you guys next video. I'm going to walk inside this bar, which has Wi-Fi, and start editing another video. Alright, I'll check you guys later.